everyone, thanks for stopping by today to see what I am up to. And today I thought I would do a first for me and something different. I don't have an unboxing to do. I thought I would do my very first, get to know me, Q&A type thing. Since I've been doing this about a year and a half, I have not done anything like this. And I have answered questions along the way in my comment section. I did ask a few times, Instagram and on YouTube, if anybody had any questions. If I did a video like this, and I saved them, I mean, I might have answered them a little bit in the comments because I do like to respond, but to maybe elaborate a little bit more here. And this way you guys can get to know me a little bit better. And, through comments and interaction, I get to know you a little bit. And let's get started. I have, I think, 19 or 20 questions, 10 that are like non-YouTube-ish and maybe 9 or 10 that are like YouTube related. So let's, I was going to do the YouTube ones first, but let's maybe do the other ones first. I have them written down here, just the questions, so I didn't forget any. A lot of people, since I have stated, that I am, vegetarian, vegan, like what do you eat? And, if I mention something, well, how do you do that? And I am a vegetarian, borderline vegan. I have been this way, I don't know, 15, 20 years. It's the smell of meat cooking will gag me beyond control sometimes, and like especially ground beef and browning meats and things like that. I mean, I do cook and have to do it, and we have a fan. I put that fan on and get that smell out quickly, and some things I just overcome me and cannot be around. So basically I'm vegetarian, strict vegetarian, and borderline vegan. But my one question was, what is my favorite food? And my favorite food all time, and even when I ate meat, which was my teens-ish area, maybe early 20s, I don't even think it was then, are tacos. I love like nachos, tacos, and I always make them at home. I'm not real big on going out to eat because I like things the way I like them, not the way they necessarily want to serve them to me. So I make vegetarian tacos, and I just omit the meat and use black beans. And I put everything that everybody else would put on a taco, and I do put them on the same thing with nachos. I use black beans in place of, and sometimes, depending, I've tried like sometimes like some of the Mexican rice recipes, and I just don't like that on a taco, and I love hard shell tacos. And so I prefer the black beans, and I could eat them once a week and be happy. I'm in my happy place when I'm eating that. Somebody once asked me what my favorite time of the day is, which I thought was just interesting question, and I had to really think about that. But I'm going to say late at night for me. During the day, it's hustle and bustle. Everybody's busy. You have errands to run. You have this to do, that to do. And I find late at night is when it's your calm down, your peace time, prior to bed. So that's my favorite time of the day, would be late at night. I just think it's so peaceful and so quiet. And that's usually when I'll catch up on YouTube videos from other people that I subscribe to and support, answer comments. And sometimes I'm up late, if I can't sleep, editing and uploading and doing all that, fun YouTube stuff. I had somebody ask me if I prefer to go out to eat or to cook at home. And I sort of hit on that previously. I do prefer to cook at home. Like I said, I want to know what the ingredients are, what's being added. I'm not real heavy into the salts and overly seasoning things. I mean, some things you do have to season, obviously. But I do prefer to eat at home. And there's that rare occasion that I do love to go out to eat. I don't eat pasta at home. I just find that it's just not the same experience for me. So I love going to a really nice Italian restaurant. We have a few like small, like family owned restaurants, Italian restaurants that are just very good. And I love the whole process of a nice salad, a good bread and butter and your nice pasta and your drink. And by the time I can never do the dessert thing. And there is that time that I love, I love to go to Olive Garden just like everybody else. And that's not authentic to me, but it's close. So I do love that with the salad and breadsticks and stuff like that. But usually by the time dinner hits, I'm full. Somebody asked me movie theater or watching movies at home. And I would say both, more the home movies. But some movies that you just need the effect or the, the surround sound effect, I would definitely go to the movies. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. I'm sure a lot of you don't know that. And I am a big Star Wars fan. I have not missed any movies, and those you definitely have to see in the theater. I have them on, DVD, and I do watch them at home, and you catch them on, on TV, and I still watch them, but the first roundabout you have to catch in the movies. I've been asked what my favorite color is, and I just don't have one. I would say I love jewel tones, which are like the blues and the purples and like burgundy and like this color of pink where it's more like raspberry. Of course, who doesn't love black and like navy and grays and things like that. Burgundy I love, and certain shades of pink. Clothing wise, I think I have one like maybe like hot pinkish color top, and I do like that, and it brightens up your skin. Because I have a little bit more of my mom's skin tone, more little olive undertones, where everybody else in my family has my father's skin tone, who is 100% Irish. And my mom just did her like Ancestry.com thing, or 23andMe, I don't know, for my mom. She wanted me to do it, but I wanted her to do it to see if there's other ancestors that she's not aware of, because she has an in-depth family tree that she has been writing down. She's gotten from her aunt before she passed, and just gathering as much family information as possible. And she's gone back pretty far with that. But just in case we're missing anything along the way, I mean, I could always do it where I would grab, some of my father's family then, but I would be more interested in finding out a little bit more about my mom's background. I definitely have her skin tone, and if you look at a picture of myself and my mother when she was my age, we're pretty identical. Same eyebrows, nose, lips. Believe it or not, pretty close handwriting. So that benefited me back in high school and my siblings a little bit. So I could forge a good mom's name with no problem. If I'm a dog lover or a cat lover, I would say both. I love all animals. They deserve a good life, to be loved, fed, cared for in the proper way. But I am a dog owner. I've never owned a cat. My niece is a cat. My older niece is a cat lover. And her cats, anytime I've been at her place, she lived in California for years now. She's in Chicago. I haven't seen her two little kitties from Chicago, but her cat that she had, who has since then passed, was a beautiful cat. And at first I was a little hesitant because I wasn't sure of the reaction, because I've never really been around cats that much, but fell to love her in the week or two that I was there. Rest your soul, poor sweet Nyla. Beautiful, beautiful cat. And her cats now are Bunsen and Petrie. Her and her husband are both scientists, so hence the names, and they are beautiful cats, and she got them from kittens. So if I ever meet them, I'm sure I'll love them just as much. But I am a dog owner. I usually own two at the same time, and I usually try to rescue. And coming with rescues, it brings baggage. And my first dog, Patches, who was a Shih Tzu, she didn't really come with too much baggage. She's pretty good. A little bit of food issues, fearful of her plate and stuff. And still, 7, 8, 9 years later, the same way. Oreo, different story. She did not have a good life at all. I'm not going to get into that, but she has a darn good life now, and that's my mission. Coffee or tea drinker? Actually, both. Major coffee drinker. I mean, I could drink 7, 8 cups of coffee a day. I try not to. I was there for the longest time and wondering why, why are you so hyper? And yeah, I was drinking way too much coffee. I don't drink any other caffeine. I'm not a soda drinker. I do love iced tea in the summer, but I try to stay away from that. I do drink tea sometimes at night because I find it very soothing and relaxing. And of course, some of the teas that are out there are very good to help you with all that, and like bedtime teas. And of course, when I'm sick, I don't want coffee at all. And I know when I lose my taste for coffee that I'm getting sick. And me and my brother are both big coffee drinkers, and he's the same way. So I would say coffee 98% of the time, and tea the rest. I've gotten quite a few of like the tea subscriptions and have been loving them and sharing them with my family because some of them are bigger tea drinkers, but I have kept a lot of it for myself because I enjoy a good cup of tea, not necessarily some of these, tea bags, but a good blend of tea. Somebody asked me, based upon, I guess, what they see in my organization level, if I like to do housework or hate it. And I actually love it. I get great satisfaction out of cleaning and seeing everything shining and sparkling and just everything in its place, which it already is in its place. But, you know, day to day, you know, you pick up here or there, you know, I just love, you know, running the vacuum in the areas that have vacuum and just seeing the marks that the vacuum makes, and it just, things smelling clean. So I love to clean. I love to do laundry. Do I always love it? No, there are times that I'm like, oh, I just don't feel like it. And I have that luxury that I don't have to do it that day then. But I actually love to do it. I am an extremely, to an OCD level, organized. I put everything away. You know, my coat gets put away. My handbag gets put in the same place every time. I put my shoes away in my closet. They're not out and about in my room. I make my bed every day. You know, I clean my bathroom every day. This way, I'm not having to do this major clean at the end of the week, you know, all that good stuff. And you're going to hear my dog playing in the background. Nobody asked me this, but I figured I would share about my siblings. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister. I have an older brother. I am next. My sister is next. And then I have a younger brother. And my younger brother has 2 children, and they're both boys. And my younger sister has 2 children, and they're both girls. So I have 2 nieces, 2 nephews. My older brother and myself, we don't have any children. And that's fine. I never really wanted children. I never thought I had the patience to be a mom or to have children. And then for a long time, I was watching, when I worked at the hospital, you know, my girlfriend had to work every other Saturday. So I watched her newborn, and I love little babies. So, and I had the patience of a saint, and especially with infants, you know, they depend upon you for every little thing, and you never know what they want. You're checking this, checking that. What do you, you know, animals are the same way. You know, they're like babies. At least when they're a little bit older, they can voice that to you. And that's generally when they start talking and getting that little bit of, you know, their growing pains. That's usually when I'm like, all right, enough. But growing up, I always, if I wanted to play mom and have my, you know, my nieces always slept over. So I had them for the weekend or an overnighter, and then they got to go home. So, you know, my patience was always good. So I don't know how I would have been having my own children, but I knew I didn't. I traveled a lot when I was younger. So that was, you know, I had to pick one or the other, and I knew I really didn't want children. And then somebody had asked me if I love to travel or stay at home, and my answer is travel. I would go anywhere and everywhere, and I have been to a lot of places in the U.S. There are a few things that I still want to do. I want to take, and I'll be doing that this early fall, I want to go across country on Amtrak and see the upper states like Wyoming and Montana and North Dakota, and finally wind up in Seattle. I've never been to any of those upper cold states, as you want to call them, freezing cold states. So I want to do that in the early fall and go through, I think it's Glacier National Park and things like that. I have never been to the Grand Canyon and really don't have a desire. I know it's beautiful. I have family members that have been there, but I would be afraid that I would get there, see it, and be like, okay, like, what do we do tomorrow? Like, I know it's beautiful, and I enjoy the beauty of our own country because it is beautiful. But I am more interested in traveling to Europe, and I've been to Europe just to see the beauty that's there because it is phenomenal if you have not been there. And I will be back in just a moment with some questions and answers about YouTube. So I just took a quick little break. I had to put my dogs out. So now I'm going to answer some questions that pertained to YouTube. And I guess the first one that I had seen, you know, quite a few times is, why did you start your YouTube channel? I was sort of forced into retirement, if you want to call it that, or I couldn't work any longer from a car accident. It was a pretty bad car accident, and sort of set me on a tailspin for about a year and a half. Physical therapy 3 times a week for about a year and a half, 2 years. It just really, not going to get into all that. A lot of injuries, and found out I could not work after that. And that was back in 2008. And I didn't start YouTube until, when did I start my channel? 2018? end of 2018, all of 2019. I would say like the summer of 2018, I think it was. And I had been watching YouTube prior to that several months. Probably all of 2018, I watched the first half. And I never thought that that was something I wanted to do or even try. And I had been getting like a few of the boxes already. And loved getting them every month. You know, more like the Target, Walmart type boxes. I don't think I was I getting any others prior to? I might have gotten 1 month or 2 months prior to me starting my channel of like the Eco Tools boxes that they have. And they're not subscription boxes. You have to go on their site and get them, where you get brushes, because I figured, oh, you know, I really need more brushes and better brushes. And I'm trying to think of what other kind of boxes. Maybe I was getting like the Bookcase Club, because I love to read. Things like that prior to the channel starting. But the reason I started was, you know, started watching, and I was not really watching any unboxing channels. I was watching travel channels and things of that nature. And I came across Tati Westbrook and loved watching her channel, and I still do. And she's more makeup, PR hauls, things of that nature. And I started getting into a little bit more of that, came across a few unboxing channels, and thought I would give it a try. So when I first started, I was behind the camera. You know, anxiety was like, oh, am I going to be accepted? I was older. I wasn't one of these 20-year-old, you know, girls out here, ladies, 30-year-old out there, you know, trying to get my groove on. So I wanted to stay behind the camera. And then I figured a couple months in, why not? I had people ask me to come on this side of the camera, so eventually I did. And I think last April or May, I got in front of the camera. And, you know, I don't know why I stayed behind the camera as long as I did. But I'm happy to be in front of the camera. But I started because I thought, why not? If I do it for 6 months, a year, and I don't like it, I stop. Well, you know, there's nothing to keep me here. But I love what I do. I love all the people I've been meeting. All the friends that I have here on my own channel, and plus all the other creators that I have met and become friends with. So I truly, truly love the entire experience, good, bad, and indifferent. I've been asked what is my all-time favorite subscription box that I have received, not that I've seen or, you know, that I physically have received. And I'm always going to say BoxyCharm, whether it's Boxy Base, Boxy Premium, Boxy Luxe. I think BoxyCharm, hands down, is my favorite all-time. If I had to look back over the last 1.5 to 2 years of boxes, that is my favorite box. Even though there are close seconds, but that will always, unless they just totally tank it and start destroying themselves, they will always be my favorite. I have been asked about my favorite brand or brands that I use and that I love. And I do have several that I use, and some I've been using for a long time and some just recently. I love Too Faced. One, I love the smell of their products, and they're very good, and a wide range of products that I love from them. I recently, and I would say in the last maybe 6 months or 8 months, I love Huda Beauty. I just think her products are phenomenal. And love receiving them in boxes. And I buy my fair share of them. I love like your basic brands like Smashbox, which is not a basic brand. Smashbox has been around for a long time, but I love L'Oreal and Revlon. And a new one for me that is recent is Glamlight Cosmetics. I just think that they're phenomenal. Their makeup, their eyeshadow palettes are awesome. The formula is great. I love like brands like BH Cosmetics. I buy from them all the time. Gerard Cosmetics. I've not bought anything, but I keep on looking. So there's just so many companies out there, and they don't have to be these big, gigantic brands to be wonderful. Some of the smaller ones are better than the bigger ones. I've been asked about my nails a million times. I see comments all the time. I do my own nails. I used to get them done all the time, and then started getting frustrated with the amount of money you're spending to get your nails done. When I worked, definitely, but now that I'm not working, you know, I'm doing my nails for myself, basically. I do them myself 99% of the time. I am wearing an OPI nail polish. It's very rare that I'm not wearing OPI, and I can get probably 2 to 3 weeks out of one polish. And I clean, I cook, I do dishes, you know, I bathe dog. I have my hands in water all the time. I do use cuticle oil to keep my cuticles looking good, because sometimes they can get pretty ratchet looking. And I use a manicure booster as a top coat, and like you cap the fronts, stops the chipping and the wear, and usually it starts growing after the cuticle before I'm ready to change it, but then it starts to look bad. And I just have like a neutral color on now, and I will switch it up. Sometimes I'll wear a lot of neutrals and then hit it with a ton of colors, but I have a ton of OPI, and I would love to get more OPI. I would love to be on their PR list. I am such a huge fan of OPI. So people have asked me if any YouTubers encouraged me before I started to start my own channel. And I would have to say yes and no. I did not speak to anybody prior to me starting my own channel about starting it, but I definitely watched a few unboxing channels, and they were very small channels at the time. They're not so much anymore, that I sort of thought, well, I can do that. And they were Just Ann, and I've been watching her since she was 1,000 subscribers, and she's getting, I think it was 40,000 she's close to now, and she's really had a great success with her channel, and I still watch her all the time. Love Just Ann. And the other person that I truly love to pieces is Abadabs. I've watched her from the beginning, and I think she, just like Ann, are just really real people, true people, honest people. What you see on camera is what you get in real life. And I just think Abadabs, she is comical. I laugh along with her. I never laugh at her. I laugh along with her so many times. She's her channel's finally starting to get large, if you want to call that large. Because I don't know what a large channel is. Is that, a couple 100,000 or 100,000? I don't know, but she's really picking up, and she deserves a lot more than she currently has. And I still watch Tati, and will always watch Tati. I love her and her PR hauls and her makeup tutorials, and you can really learn a lot by watching a really, really good makeup artist, and she's phenomenal, and she brings people onto her channel that can help you. I would have never known about Scott Barnes if I didn't see him on her channel. He's a celebrity makeup artist. He is phenomenal, and he's just starting his own YouTube channel, and he gives you tips and tricks for the everyday woman. I love watching him, and he's funny also. I've been asked, what product could you not live without? And I would say my foundation. I think if you could put, and I use Laura Geller's powder foundation, and I think if I could just quickly put that on my face, I would be fine. It's just more to even out skin tone. I think then I would look put together, brush my hair, and go. If that's all I could have was one product, I would pick my Laura Geller powder foundation, and I've been using that for years and years and years. And they also asked me, what do you never leave the house without wearing? And that's always going to be lipstick. I might not have anything else on. I might throw on glasses, sunglasses, brush my hair. I'm always going to have lipstick on. You're never going to find me without lipstick. Even if I'm staying in the house all day and doing nothing, I will have lipstick on. It's just a thing with me, and that's just what that one is. What product do you have the most of? What products? I would say palettes and lip products. I would say they're pretty even. I might have a few more palettes than lips, but I have 150 tubes of lipstick, and then there's gloss, and there's samples, and it's an addiction, but I love lipstick and lip gloss and mattes you name it. I'm not real big on lip stains, but I have them too. What was the next question? You could only pick one, skincare or makeup. Which one would you pick? Sort of hit on that prior, skincare, without a doubt. I'd rather have great skin than masked skin with makeup, because you can hide flaws with makeup, but I would rather have great skin, so I didn't have to do that. So if I could only have one, skincare or makeup, I would always choose skincare. Somebody asked me if if I am very organized or a hot mess. I've answered that already, that I am extremely organized to a fault. And I think they were the questions the most that I saw. If anybody has any questions that maybe I didn't hit on that you want answered, I'll be more than glad to answer them in the comments or save them for a future Q&A. Get to know me. And that's pretty much it for today. And I figured I would share a little bit of me with all of you. And I so look forward to getting to know you all better in the comments, because that's all we have right now. And I hope you all have a great day. And thank you all so much for always being here and watching my videos and participating in the comments. I appreciate that so much. And as always, I hope to see you all in my next video. Bye-bye now.